restriction, which anybody can do without notifying planning.
Okay, good evening ladies and gentlemen. Right, this is the annual Parish Council meeting of the date Tuesday the 26th of May 2026. Just before we go on to item 1, I would like to introduce Jenna, who is standing in for our Danielle tonight. And I'd also like to welcome back Derek Rena. Right, first item, the election of chair for the Council of the Year. Nominations will be taken from councillors who will decide upon a show of hands for the chair for the next year. Councillors who are elected chair will sign the acceptance of office and then proceed with this meeting.
I nominate Jeff.
Thank you. Second. Any other nominations?
No. Oh, I've got a second.
Too late.
No other nominations. Okay. So I've been seconded. Show of hands. Thank you all.
Yeah. Welcome back.
Item 2, election of vice chair for the council year. Nominations be taken from councillors who will decide upon the show of hands of the vice chair for the next year. Any nominations?
I nominate Sarah.
Second that.
Any other nominations? No? Show of hands. Thank you.
Well done.
Number 3, public questions. I invite any members of the public if they have a question in matters relating to business on the agenda. Nothing? Thank you. To receive reports and ask questions of county councillors, Daniel Lack and district Rother councillors concerning county or Rother district issues. Daniel Lack may turn up, I haven't heard by the way.
There is Breed tonight, so I don't know if he's doing the reverse of Carl and...
Righto. Okay, if he does turn up, I will allow him to speak.
Great.
Okay, Rother councillors?
Yes, sir? Yeah. Well, obviously this week at Rother there was the nominations and confirmations of all the committees and the confirmation of the chair and vice chair, so there wasn't any substantive business discussed. On a local note though, Rother have confirmed, following Andrew's announcement last week of the SIL funding, of the dates of the works on the water pumps, which is great. Which is confirmed. Yeah. So if that's already in the agenda, then fine.
Yeah, I've got it in correspondence.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, yes, I just confirm that. I don't know if members of the public might be interested to know that the total cost of the project to clean the wells along Rockmead Road and replace the pumps is £409,000, which Rother has been able to find from its community infrastructure levy fund, mostly, and plus a sum which was in reserves, held in reserve for that purpose. And to some degree, the case was helped by the fact that we had the market garden, which raised community infrastructure levy, and the funds have to be used in support of housing. So, two ways that was helpful. And we have some information on the timing of the works. Nicholas Boreholes and TP Geo have now been formally instructed, and deposit payments have been made to secure their involvement. So we are now as certain as anything ever is in life that this is going ahead. The boreholes will be cleaned first and then the pipes fitted. The boreholes will be cleaned from the 3rd of August onwards. That will last 7 weeks. And the pump work will be from a commencement date of the 30th of September, but that's subject to ongoing design development, it says here. But in any event, we have a projected project completion date by the end of November. And of course residents in the road will be kept informed about the works. But I think that's very, very positive. And I'd like to thank Tim for his contributions in dealing with Rother. It was by no means...
No.
It was no means a certainty.
So I thank you for yours. former chair.
It was by no means certain that the funds would be found and allocated. I think the village has been very fortunate.
Yeah.
For once, we often aren't, in that the money was available for this sort of purpose, and we've got it through before the unitary takes over in a couple of years' time.
Yeah.
And I don't know what attitude the unitary will take to poor little Fairlight, which is a long way from Lewes. That's all I've got to say.
Thank you. Can I just ask if you know, is this now going to be done after the Southern Water have replaced all the mains, or is this still unknown? Because the theory was that this work was going to be carried out from May, and then Southern Water were going to do the connections.
Well, Southern
possibly
Water brought
afterwards.
their schedule forward in order to accommodate this, and the corporate development team are liaising with them all the time, even as much as how does the road get resurfaced in lieu of the manhole covers and stuff. So there's a sort of a detailed bunch of discussions going on, so I would assume, even though I don't know, that would be the case, because it wouldn't make sense otherwise.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. To record any apologies for absence, to receive and record apologies for absence. I've not received any, and I think we have as a council. To consider any request for approval of reasons for absence, NO. Code of conduct and disclosure of interests. To receive any disclosures from members of personal or prejudicial interest in matters on the agenda. Members are reminded to repeat the declaration immediately prior to commencement of the item in question. I have to say one for the private session on the Activate lease. Anybody else? No? To consider and approve the signing by the chair of the minutes of the full council meeting of the 28th of April 2026. And what for a separate planning? Yeah. And part B, the planning meeting held on the 31st of March. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Right. Matters required a decision by the full council. The annual governance and accountability return, which is the AGR part of the internal audit. We need to review and approve it. I would just like to say firstly that this is actually a very good audit. In fact, I'd go so far that the following comments: our testing did not identify any procedural errors requiring reporting to the external auditor at this time. Nor did we observe any material weakness in internal controls that would pose any risk to public funds. In fact, the processes and procedures, together with the own built-in compensating controls, are robust, strictly followed, and in many ways respect a model of good practice. They are quite complimentary. I've not really seen wording to such effect on audits generally.
Definitely the best we've ever had here.
The only suggestion on the audit as a whole was in reference to 2.26. Sorry, I'm just going to get this up for the public. 2.26, where it says, because we hold more than £100,000, we may wish to look at long-term investment. Which I believe we can discuss at a later meeting. Right, section 1 of the AGAR, to review and approve. The AGAR is basically a resume of the parish council's accounts, cross-examined with our own financing systems to make sure everything tallies and nothing is really amiss.
If I can intercede there, and also to make sure that it's safe, which it hasn't been in previous years.
So we have to go down and agree individual sections. Where are we? Somewhere it's blank. Bear with me, sorry. So that's it. Basically, it's last year's income and expenditure, which stands correct in our accounting systems. It's calculable and mentioned in the report overall, which is with supporting papers, that the income was 108% higher than the budget and the expenditure was 111.4% higher than budget. That is a difference of £2,473 of over expenditure against the two put together, which only represents 2.85. Unless councils are really running to near 10% or over, it's perfectly within acceptable limits and it's actually quite good. The income difference is mainly attributed to higher interest. I'd like to point out this is not Bank of England rate rises, but due to the diligence of our RFO actively seeking best interest counts where possible. The additional expenditure was mainly all on renewals and repairs and the swing park, where a lot has been achieved in the last 12 months. So we actually need to go along. This is go along with this. So the auditor has suggested that we agree yes to all of these following, except for the one which is NA, which is highlighted down here. So I have to read them out for everyone's agreement. We have put in place arrangements for effective financial management during the year and for preparation of accounting statements. You all agree? Thank you. We maintain an adequate system of internal control, including measures designed to prevent and detect fraud and corruption, and reviewed its effectiveness. Thank you. We have assured ourselves that there are no matters of actual or potential non-compliance with laws, regulations and proper practices that could have a significant finance effect on the ability of the authority to conduct its business or manage its finances.
Agree.
Thank you. We provide proper opportunity during the year to exercise of electors' rights in accordance with the requirements of the accounts and audit regulations.
Agreed.
Thank you. We carry out assessment of the risks facing the authority and took appropriate steps to manage those risks, including the introduction of internal controls and or external insurance cover where required.
Agreed.
Thank you. We took appropriate action on all matters raised in reports from the internal and external audit. Yep, we do that actually. So there was one comment last year which was actioned. We considered whether any litigation, liabilities or commitments, events or transactions occurring either during or after the year end have a financial impact on the authority, and where appropriate have included them in our accounting statements. Thank you. Next ones. We have put in place arrangements for the effective IT and data management in accordance with the proper practices during the year under review. Thank you. Just to recap, if you've looked through it, I'm right in saying that the auditor did suggest that we agree to all.
Sign in the ledger.
It's not provided for. It's not provided for in the agenda. I want to speak to someone.
Anything else you can fill in the rest?
I'll fill that in.
okay.
Danielle will put the minute reference in.
Is it distant or
Thank you, Jan.
Chair, could I ask that Danielle is complimented on the audit?
Well
So
said.
thank you very much.
Yes.
And to tell her thank you very much, done a storming job.
Thank you.
If that would be minuted, please.
Yeah.
Thanks.
What's the next bit? Sorry. I don't think I really need to find it on there. Part D. Notice of electors' rights to confirm dates of Wednesday the 3rd of June to Monday the 14th of July for the accounts to be available to view.
Oh, sorry, Jeff. You've got to do section 2,
Have I?
which is item C. That's this one, accounting statements.
Oh, right.
Sign that one.
Yeah, sorry. So I'm sorry, I mentioned this briefly. This is the end of year basic accounting statements known as the AGAR, and that is a breakdown. The fact, I want to just point out quickly, the fact that we are in fact £242,473 difference on expenditure over income is literally only a coincidence that it's the same amount as the capital repayment loan each year. So have you all seen that and accepted it to be correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
You signing that one? Daniel's already signed it.
Thank you. Sorry, so notice of electors' rights, confirmed dates 3rd of June to Monday the 14th of July for accounts to be available for viewing. Basically, as a public body, we are bound for our accounts to be publicly available when requested during dates given, which are above. However, now that we display in full every single financial transaction and full accounts on a monthly basis, our finances are now easily traced online, including this year's ending income and expenses against budget. For anyone's interested, will find on the supporting paperwork. And the dates are, as mentioned, are we in agreement that they're okay? I mean, I think basically they were chosen by Danielle, and she'll be the one doing the work.
Could I ask a question, Chair?
Of course you can.
When we signed and approved the minutes of the meeting of the 28th of April, is there an opportunity for matters arising from those minutes to talk to them? Things which might have happened as a result of the minutes. Normally, if you have minutes, item matters arising, no?
Were there any matters arising?
We
You're
don't
not
normally
having
have
matters arising?
We don't normally have that as an agenda
No,
item.
it's just, it's just that on one of your items, you haven't made provision for something which has occurred this year, but you've agreed to do it. Can I refer to can I just speak to it for a moment? Item 11? On the minutes?
Item 11 is appointments of external bodies and groups.
No, on the minutes.
On the minutes.
On the minutes?
On the
Sorry,
minutes of the
Sarah.
last meeting.
Yeah.
You can't proceed with exactly what you've written there. I'll explain why in a second.
No, I can make a correction if it's needed.
Well, it certainly will be.
Yes, sorry. Yes, sorry, Derek, go ahead. Please do.
If the receiver of the John Luckman Award isn't available to present it, what's the contingency plan? As in the case of my wife, she died, and so who would be presenting it?
Yes, we.
It's
not
not
too
in the
sure
minutes.
whether you were offered. We were going to offer.
No, I mean, it's not in the minutes for future opportunities. What will happen?
Right. So
What
you
will be
want.
the process? That's all.
Okay.
I don't think we discussed that. We discussed
didn't
the
discuss
handing
it.
over for the following
Yes.
year.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Who will do it
If they're not
That's all.
available for any reason.
Don't know, somebody would decide.
Okay.
them.
I think it's best
Decide
if
at
we
the
can
time.
readdress that as another agenda
Thank you.
item next month. Please,
Just,
Derek.
and I also understand that you're doing certificates, which is great for those people who didn't get the John Luckman Award. I have just a suggestion that for the person who does win the John Luckman Award, for the price of less than £20, you can actually have a replica sheet produced. I'll bring one I've had done for Sue, so that later on in years, the family will be able to say, yeah, that was. And if you see it, you may wish to do it as well for the recipients of the
Thank
award.
you.
Okay?
Yeah. So are you happy that we readdress that
Yes, please.
on another
Yeah.
agenda item
Thank
next
you.
month? Thank you. And you're happy for these minutes still to be signed off, or
Yes.
do you want
yes.
an
No, that's in
alteration?
my yes. It's matters arising. Fine.
Thank you.
Particularly as I wasn't at the meeting, Chairman.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, and that's been made, Derek. Thank you.
First day of school.
So sorry, where were we? We're all happy with those dates and the Daniel.
Yes.
Thank you. Right, financial matters. To receive the list of receipts and payments for April, therefore being all of the following are in the supporting papers. Yes? To receive items paid to date for payments in May. Yep. To receive receipts and payments for the report for the 31st of March 2025. To approve March reconciliation. To review Hastings football, monthly charge for the youth of Woodfield is currently £100. I'm not too sure whether it was, I'll have to check it out, I'm sure Daniel probably has. I wasn't too sure whether this was annual or whether they were originally given 3 years at £100. I would say 2 or 3 times this year they've just turned up on non-agreed dates and helped themselves to the field. Which I believe, strictly speaking, it's meant to be a Sunday morning and a Tuesday evening.
Perhaps we need to have a chat.
So I think we need to, personally, I think we need to satisfy what their agreement actually is. And then if they want to use the field more, I'm sure it could be made available, but I believe we should be charging more than £100 if they're having another session.
We need to have a chat with them.
I would say it's a bit of 6 of one, half of the other, because they hardly play all winter because of it. So it's a bit of swings and roundabouts anyway.
But they need to arrange it.
So can we defer that until I've got further information, please?
Yeah.
Thank you. To review bank mandatory signatures, current signatures are the clerk, Councillor Cook, Councillor Smith and Councillor Whiteman. Happy?
Yeah.
It takes two authorising, other than the clerk doing the transaction, it takes 2 to authorise. So it's 3 which authorise. Are we all happy if that stay the same people? Thank you.
No change required.
To review the current signatory for bank reconciliation and bank statements, currently only Councillor Richard. Need at least another one, I'd say, as a backup.
I'll go to backup.
Lovely. Okay. Councillor Duncan Brook. To approve payments to Jenna Sands for providing clerical cover at tonight's meeting, 26th of May 2006, at a rate of £22 per hour and travel expenses of £5 and 4 pence.
I'm not sure we can afford it.
Agreed. And to note, Richard Palmer, Harrington solicitor, has increased his rates from £310 to £330 per hour. Hopefully there is not going to be another invoice
just
coming
gonna
from
please
that
put
way.
these leases
I
to
think
bed.
we're done. Okay. Thank you.
And the wrong business.
Right, we now have to appoint committees and working groups. Section 10, I'll go back to the agenda for the public, sorry. The Council is asked to make appointments or review and confirm existing appointments for the following committees. The Planning Committee. Right, currently we're all on the Planning Committee. No decision the Planning Committee can really make a separate committee can be agreed until it comes to Council, and it was viewed more than a year ago to include it, unless it's a big application and it needs a separate meeting, just to do it in-house at the same time as parish council meetings or prior meetings.
Agreed.
So basically, are we all happy to remain as a joint body on planning issues?
Yes.
Yeah.
And to keep it as the way it is? I'm saying that if it's something like something big comes up, we can always have
under the
a
provision
separate meeting.
that Andrew and myself might have to excuse ourselves.
Oh yes,
from certain
yes,
things.
yeah, okay. Grants officer and panel, currently Councillor Cook, myself and Councillor Whiteman. Previously there's been 4 members. Anybody want to become a member or carry on being members? Derek would like to come on. Anybody else? because I've done it for about 4 years now, and I think it's time to perhaps I
Okay,
rested
I'm happy to go on.
for a year or two. Yep.
Yep.
But, so I'm coming off, Councillor Greenough and Rob going on,
Okay.
along with. Land Management Working Party, currently Councillor Bichard and myself. Could do with another member, I think. You always use worth 3, David. Yes, thank you very much. So, Councillor Thatcher. Waters, drainage, including pathfinders. Currently Councillor Cook and Councillor Whiteman. You happy to remain?
Yeah, that's fine. You're getting involved in that at the moment though as well, aren't you?
Well, I'm liaising with the Water Board purely on the mains lane, not
So
you know,
should you-
other sort of issues.
So should you be down on that as well? Should your name be down?
I'd rather not.
Well, just to say, coincidentally, both Councillor Me and myself are Pathfinder attendees.
Yes.
So we're but not in the capacity as parish, but we both sit in parish as
Been
well.
saying
So
that we can have
the parish is well represented.
eyes on water issues, because I think Pathfinders is sort of
Yeah.
disappearing, isn't it?
I think they're achieving most of their
Yeah.
goals.
Yeah, somebody told me it was going to be reviewed at the end of the year, or when they've finished all the water business.
Right, yeah.
If
Thank you.
it's finished.
Emergency Plan Coordinator. There's only Councillor Cook on there at the moment. Previously there were at least 2 members.
Yes, please.
It is a project we're going to have to pick up again as a council. The emergency plan, it's very, very, very outdated. Half the street wardens are no longer either with us or here, so it needs, it's a good thing, but it needs bringing completely up to date, especially taking into account modern communications and everything else. So I think we do need at least 2 people on it. Yeah, Lincoln
Councillor Graham?
have a lot of work.
Councillor Graham's not in.
You sure?
Yeah.
Yep. So it's Councillor Pilchard and Councillor Cook.
Thanks, Tom.
Staff Appraisal Group, currently Councillor Whiteman, currently the chair, Councillor Whiteman, previously 3 members, need to appoint a 3rd. Thank you, Darren. You got there first. You got to be quick. You got to be quick if you want to join the group.
Yeah.
You got that. Website Facebook coordinator. Previous member resigned. Graham Gillett volunteers to do it. The website updated by the clerk and PC has no Facebook page to consider dissolving. I would agree with that. We don't particularly want a Facebook, I don't unless anybody wants a Facebook page. And I know that Graham Gillett will help out on technical issues. If anyone's got a really major problem with their email or especially
Facebook's an interactive format.
well, it
That
never,
would then
ours
require-
never was interactive, but there's just no need for it, I
And
think.
then it's not the right thing.
No.
But the website is good
Yeah,
and has all the information on there. So.
thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll delete that.
Chair, can I make another comment? Can we make a comment in the minutes to thank Graham Gillett for all his help?
Yes, we can
Please.
thank him, but he's going to continue to help if and when
but
needed.
just to thank him
Yeah.
on an
Yes.
ongoing basis. It's
Yeah.
greatly appreciated.
Rights away, previous member resigned. Lovely, thank you. Just a man I was looking for. Councillor Thatcher.
Have you missed the Fairlight drop-in group?
I have. Sorry? Fairlight Dropping Group, currently Councillor Pilchard, previously 2 members, considered dissolving the dropping group. We relinquished it, I don't know, 18 months ago, and since then it's now found its own 2 feet and is totally independent. So I can't see there's any need for us to brother it or anything.
No.
Just support it when needed. Thank you. Tree Warden, currently Councillor Picard. Are you happy doing that?
Yeah,
Or
carry on.
do you need 2 or are you quite happy? I don't think you need 2.
No, should be. Would they be?
Do you want to help if needed? Yeah, I think 2 could be handy, because we will have no woods inspection next year. So, on the other issues, thank you. Highways officer, currently myself. Anybody?
You're king of the highways.
I will carry on, it's just that I am still proactive with it, but not quite as much as every single pothole in the village as I used to be, but I'll try and improve.
I don't mind assisting. So.
Thank you.
Yeah, so
Lovely.
You cover the lanes.
Yes, I cover
Yeah,
the lanes.
yeah,
Yes,
that'd be good.
That's actually a lot, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yes.
that's the worst
Yes.
part.
Thank you.
Explain.
War Memorial Steering Group, currently myself. I'm quite happy to stay on it. I had a meeting the other day regarding putting up a little, not a gate, but sort of fencing around it. And we still do hold some money of theirs, and we have a budget line for it. So I do think it still needs a council member. Unless anybody else specifically wants to go on it. Right, I'll carry on. Thank you. Section 11, to appoint external bodies and groups. The council is asked to make appointments to confirm existing appointments or confirm existing appointments to the following external bodies by inviting nominations from councillors and voting via show of hands. The Preservation Trust. Councillor
Yep.
Card, I thought you were on this morning. No?
I'm on it, yeah.
No.
I am on the Preservation Trust, but,
You are?
but I am, but I'm
Oh, but not as, sorry.
No, not as I'm not a nominated
I
councillor.
think it's, what's your feelings, best kept as just a one, and you, if you're happy?
Yeah.
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 Everybody happy with that? Yeah. Thank you. And Fairlight Village Hall, currently myself, I come along to all their meetings wearing 2 hats, so I'm quite happy to continue.
Okay.
So, continue. Market Garden Sites, currently there are no members, previous members resigned. Unless our other councillors have a view,
Is there a need?
I can't see a need. I am looking at the gabion baskets, which haven't been done, and the fencing position.
Yeah.
But apart from that, which will only go over to enforcement, I can't see there's a need anymore.
Yeah. And that's well into play in between the EA and the planning department.
Yeah.
And anything which comes up we can deal with as we would any other issue in the village.
Yeah, so we'll disperse it.
It's very well settled then. Yeah, it's absolutely full families and lots of kids
Yeah.
and stuff, and it's a nice little.
none
Still not been signed off.
Still not been signed off.
Right, speed,
It's still
neighbourhood.
being sold, you know. It's still being sold.
None of them have been sold.
Well, of course,
They're paying
somebody
council
bought them.
tax. That's the main.
Oh, they're paying council, that's right.
Yeah.
Well, we should. Yeah, somebody's paying the council tax.
So we can move on. Long meeting. Speed, neighbourhood watch and policing. Currently there are no members. Previous members resigned. Thank you, Derek. Possibly could do with 2. Do you need another one, Derek?
I'm happy more the merrier as far as I'm concerned.
More the merrier.
Absolutely, but am I the only person that's fine? Quite capable.
Anybody else?
I'll join.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You said I was going to do that.
Okay, so
Rother Association of Local Councillors. It's recommended that the Chair and Vice Chair attend meetings, and in their absence, the Clerk attend in a non-voting capacity and reports back. Council may vote as they consider proper at a meeting of RALC. Note, under RALC Constitution, the Council gets 1 vote, so 2 if you turn up. The same councillor is only 1. The Clerk is entitled to attend as an observer but not permitted to vote. In the absence of the Council's delegate, currently it's myself and Councillor Whiteman.
Yeah, I'm happy to.
I think it's appropriate as a chair and vice chair.
Yes.
represent.
Yeah.
The liaison with the, the wider councils.
And I will say that now they're being held at Bexhill Town Hall, they are a lot better. it just seems better. Right, East Sussex Association of Local Councillors, 2 councillors recommended to agree that present representatives can speak and vote as they consider appropriate at meetings. Currently, it's myself and Councillor Graham.
I'm happy to continue.
You're going to review the cost of it first before you appoint anybody.
That's on the next item.
Yeah. It's the next item. But
Yeah, well, I'm just going to say, you made a decision, you're going to stick with them or not?
I see what you mean,
Yeah.
but I can only go by how the agenda's has been written up.
That's fair enough. Just
Yeah.
going to say, don't vote later, but that you're no longer going to belong to that, and you just appoint your people.
Yes, yeah.
They'll have to resign, David.
Yeah.
That's all.
Shortest stint ever.
Exactly.
Okay. I'm sure Jenna will advise if we decide to go down that route. Item 12, memberships of external bodies. The Council was asked to review its membership of the following bodies and decide which wishes to continue. The National Association of Local Councils at £130.72. I would just say at the moment, going through devolution,
That's probably sensible.
I think we
And
personally, I think we stay.
provide quite a bit of support to the clerks, is that right, Jenna?
Yes?
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
so,
lots
yeah,
of
so-
templates for
Yeah.
policies and things like that, they are very useful.
Yeah, so I think that's a good idea.
The East Sussex Association of Local Councils with an annual cost of £568.63.
That's a lot of money.
It is a reasonable amount of money, but it's
Could I ask-
pretty...
Yeah.
Sorry?
Could I ask, what is it that ESUB delivers that the National Association doesn't?
You can't actually be a
Yeah.
member of NOW without being a member
Yeah.
of ESAL and RAL.
Good
So
selling.
they're
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
intertwined.
It's twice.
It's not like that one's cheaper than the other one.
Yeah, because you've already paid the lion's share.
We asked that 10 years ago.
Yeah.
I mean, it does add some protection, and the advice is
Correct.
So we're happy?
Yep.
Yes.
Good. See, Rother Association of Local Councils, annual cost of £40. Thank you.
Without going.
And the Society of Local Council Clerks, subscription for the clerk, annual cost of £253. It was actually agreed on the 26th of January, reference, sorry, item reference 2026006. So that one's already decided. Thank you. Right. Have you all looked at the policies? To review the council policies and procedures, standing orders specifies that the annual meeting of the Parish Council policies and procedures should be reviewed. Please go to the following website if anyone is interested. The financial regulations to supersede the previous version. Standing orders, code of conduct, complaints procedure, freedom of information and public scheme, data protection, financial risk assessment and the assets register, including supporting papers.
I did send a load of questions after our last meeting about the financial regulations to Daniel, but I haven't had a response. We're going to discuss it, but I don't think today is the time.
I thought, having read this version, that they've been included.
Oh, are they?
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
I think when I reread them, I thought that Daniel has updated in line with what we discussed.
She mentioned to me recently.
Highlighted bits.
Oh, I haven't noticed that.
It's
Thanks, Duncan.
Jeff, in the email that Danielle sent me, she did say Lynn had some queries about the new financial regs at the last meeting, but I believe I've answered all her queries. It should be straightforward. The new one supersede the old one, so it sounds like she's incorporated.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
happy. So have everyone had a chance to look at them?
Yep.
Is there anything else noted?
So the only one I'd note is the data protection policy is she's used a generic one, and it didn't really say Fairlight Parish Council on the top of it. It's a very small item, but all the others are very clear that it's the Fairlight one, whereas that's the only one that she's taken the generic template and hasn't quite made it a Fairlight specific one.
Right, I think, well, obviously you can head that.
But yeah, that's a very small change, but it'd be worth just tidying that up so we've got them all in the same format.
Okay, is there any others? No? So I think I imagine the way that it is on the agenda, I haven't had a chance to speak to Danielle, is that it's not actually for title acceptance. So they can be altered. Thank you. Well, okay. Yeah. 14. To review the Council's expenditures incurred under Section 137 of the LGA 1G72 from the 1st of April 25 until the 31st of March 26. We only made one payment on the 1st of May 2025 of £1,000 to Pet Level Independent Rescue Boat. It was more than we budgeted for, but because of the way the Pet Level Rescue Boat is, well, I don't know the correct way of putting it, but we've always done it through an S137 as opposed to directly out of a grant. So that was the only expenditure, and it's well within, if just for people, we have a maximum limit and it works out at something around about £11 per head of population of Fairlight. So there's nowhere near that. So we're happy with the 137 payments. Item 15, insurance. Consider the following options for the insurance renewal, which is due on the 1st of June 2026. I don't really need to say anything else. Zurich, as a Fairlight Parish Council, we've been with for years and years.
Yeah.
The other two are even more expensive, and I know from my time with Activate looking at these, Zurich is probably the best one.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I think they're a real insurer. The other guys are probably go to Zurich, buy it, and then you know, might label it up. But are we looking at the 3-year or the? Because insurance premiums never seem to go down. It's a single direction.
I was going to ask that. What do we know
I would go for, well, I think 3-year terms.
Do we know how the 1 year compares with last year?
It's not up a lot, actually. I think last year's was just a tiny bit under the 1,000.
Right.
3-year term.
But we have reviewed the asset register a bit this year, because I know that generally as a market is only increased about 5%, but so I wouldn't have said it's more than 5%.
But the telephone was proposed 3 years then, Chairman?
Yes.
Thank you.
Article 4 update. To receive a report from Councillor Whiteman. Do you need this at all?
No, I haven't. Last month, myself, Jeff, Tim and Andrew all met with the head of planning and Danielle online at a Zoom meeting to discuss the possibility of introducing an Article 4 restriction on the Marsh and Valley to help with the flooding issues at the Pet level and with various other issues as well. And so he was really generous with his time. He actually spent an hour talking to us, didn't he? It was really good. Not entirely the most productive meeting, but we always knew there was going to be some reluctance from the planning department because it's a tremendous amount of work on their part to put one of those in, and he said he would actually prefer to have smaller areas which would be quite difficult to do because the whole of the valley absorbs all the water that goes down. And yeah, it's a bit like going up to the street and like nominating every other house to have a restriction. Doesn't really work.
No.
So, but it is in place in national parks, and I do need to look in this further because obviously those aren't very small areas.
No.
So,
And it's not prescriptive either. That's what we took from the meeting. There is no fixed amount. So it's perception of size and probably in relation to other things. So.
And probably the volume of work that's incurred in this. He did say that he needed to have sort of assurances from the lead flooding authority that would be the most suitable route to go down. So I had briefly, prior to this meeting, emailed Nigel Powers, and he did send me some links. But I think really, as a council, we need to request a sit-down meeting with Nigel. So face-to-face, so we can actually... So that was the...
Is this something you want to put a subcommittee on, or do you want to do everybody on this?
Well, we can do it on the...
Might be a... Down the road, or do we need to make that a separate agenda item ongoing? Because I was aware that Danielle did sneak this in very much at the last minute, and she said, we've got quite a lot on the agenda. I was like, yeah, but please can we put this on, and she did. Just really sort of trying to seek agreement from the council that we contact Nigel directly. Nigel Powers is the lead flooding authority.
And who the other ones? The Land Drainage Board.
The Land Drainage Board, their actual responsibility. The responsibility of the drainage board actually ends at pet level, but obviously we do all draining to pet level. I have spoken subsequently to one of the members of the drainage board, and he has given me the contact name of the person that might be able to help us.
So 2 meetings then, possibly?
Possibly 2.
Yeah, I think that Jenna's just said we can make this decision tonight, even so it's not written on the agenda.
Would it be sensible for you to have a subcommittee then?
I think so.
It seems
sensible. So water and that is becoming quite a...
Yeah, but I think to actually do a subcommittee, that can wait until next month's agenda. I think to contact
it's a huge amount of work. The enforcement notice that triggered my request, they're still playing up. They had a little festival up there this weekend with signs out there. And they've dumped a nice caravan with some graffiti all over it just inside their gateway.
Yeah.
Yes, which isn't particularly complimentary about the planning authority, but
no. It was a message sent.
It was a message sent. Yeah. And my response to those is to be very stubborn.
So just get this right. So with going forward with anything to do under the heading Article 4, we're going to just concentrate on water issues.
Yeah.
Because there were a lot of other issues, but we suggested to concentrate down to one
issue. It was suggested to lead with something and not to make too many things of equal weight. Yeah. However, there are multiple issues.
Yes.
Yeah. And I don't think we can ignore that necessarily. And I think
and one of those issues would support the primary issue.
And I think if we were to study other Article 4 applications and proposals and whatever, we would find evidence in there to possibly support doing more than one single reason. But that's part of the process, I think. First investigation with the leading authorities, and then drafting a very comprehensive, compelling proposal.
Yep. Okay. We agreed?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Right. Item 17, SSSI land signage. To consider erecting signs of no fly tipping signs on Channelway SSSI land. As you're all aware, the stretch of green going cliffside of Channelway belongs to the Parish Council, and is SSSI designated. Someone has considered to deposit a large amount of soil and rubble over there, mainly filling up what could be a water diverting ditch. I had to look, I'm not convinced about that, but it's rather irrelevant. There's a lot of mud, soil and debris have been dumped on the SSSI land up there. I think it may be getting removed. Not that I've said anything to anyone. So I think we can make a decision on what to do, but not necessarily follow it up immediately, maybe in 2 weeks' time. You can see what's meant. So it doesn't look severe, but this is a sort of embankment towards the top, so water is kept away from the road. This is a ditch behind, which I'm not convinced takes water, diverts water cliffside.
Yeah.
But, as I said, that's irrelevant. You cannot accept members of the public dumping this sort of amount of rubble. It goes for about 20 metres all the way down
Does it look as though it was
on
building?
SSSI land.
Does it look as though it was sort of building, excavation?
It's just soil with a bit of rubble, stones.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't really class it as fly tipping as such, do you?
What sign you need to put up?
Yeah, well, yeah.
No.
I mean,
Yeah.
fly tipping for me is someone turning
Yeah, I know.
dumping a whole load off the back of a van or something.
Yeah.
I think we might. Well, personally, I think we should. I think you've got to do something because even if we said, well, let's see if it disappears within a week or two. Our only step we can do is to go to Natural England with it. To get, because you'd even need Natural England's permission for us as a council to get it removed. And they may, if it's still there, they may wish to take it up.
How often does this occur, Chairman?
This is the only occurrence I know of.
Yeah. So it seems to be a one-off, is it?
Yeah.
Well, so far, probably.
So far.
But yeah, it only takes one to do
You
it.
can't really have a.
that's
You can't really have a.
I just wonder about the signs, a bit like speeding signs on 40 miles an hour on Battery Hill, people actually exceed it, and whether you have the signs or not will not stop them. Catching them will stop them. And do you know who it was?
Not that proof, no.
Do you have a good idea?
Yeah.
Okay.
But we've approached rather for advice,
Yeah.
and they said, and rightfully, and I totally agree, we cannot really approach the suspect for risks of accusation without proof, which is totally.
Could the sign mention something about it being a
But then
protected
again, the only
landscape?
thing the sign
I
is
think it's-
very strictly, we would need Natural England's permission to put one there anyway.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we're a bit stuck.
Well, they would
Chair.
surely agree, wouldn't they?
Don't know.
Could I suggest, obviously it's come to the attention of the Channel Way Residents Association, or the, John's army of people who do the road, and they've all got doorbell cameras, and it's something to really elicit support from people to see if there's a camera with a vehicle identification on it. I think we've got enough signs in this village for living in the countryside. It feels very much.
Let's just say it didn't travel very far.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
Just as a sort of point of information, I don't know exactly where the boundary of the SSSI actually lies, because that height, the road surface used to be much wider, and you can see it from old photographs. And if you try digging down to put a post in, as you might think of doing for this notice, you will find that the road surface goes quite some way into what is now the greenery. It may actually be part of the roadway which was owned by a trust which is defunct because all the trustees died.
That is possible, and it did cross my mind actually, but I did, when I went to have a look at it, think it's too far over.
Is it on the public right-of-way part? Because going along there's a public right-of-way there.
No, not quite.
No?
No. But I'll just say the fact is, it is, you know, stuff being dumped on SSSI land, and that's what we technically.
Yes, it's soil contamination.
Could we approach Natural England just to say that, you know, with all the fly tipping generally, you know, would they condone a no fly tipping, just as a flying inquiry?
Well, I do take Councillor Brock's points of fly tipping and some soil is quite different, really.
Yeah,
There's no mattresses.
But it is.
Sorry, Derek.
I was on the agenda, Chair, you mentioned signs. I just think for science is an area of outstanding natural beauty, scientific interest. To put a number of signs up in defeats the object of having a natural beauty, scientific interest area. And I would suggest, as a very, very, very last resort, police it before you put signs up. I think signs are just dreadful, personally.
Okay.
Would it be worth mentioning it, sending out an FRA circulation regarding the status of the land and who, you know, who ultimately in Natural England ultimately having responsibility.
Yes, I think I'm quite happy with that.
You know, the dangers of soil contamination and
encouraging people to keep an eye out for such activity.
Yes,
If you know what it is, tell us. Simple.
That's a better deterrent.
Yeah.
So, I agree the sign is a bit, you know, there's a lot against it.
There's a long road.
It's a long road, yeah. And the signs cost money.
So we're agreed we will produce a letter to the effect and send it out on the pages. Thank you.
Does that include doing an FOI?
What do you want an FOI for?
No, FRA. FRA.
Oh, I see, FOI.
Senor, please.
Okay, thank you. Right, 18 planning issues. I think they're just notifications. As you can see, farmhouse, Warren Road, change from use from a holiday let to a residential dwelling was refused. Farmhouse, again, variation of condition 2 imposed on their planning applications was approved with conditions. Not sure which one that was. Can anyone remember off the top of it? I think that was
it was a change in...
Yeah, there was a little change of almost just a porch.
Structure, yeah.
Okay, Little Herne Channel Way, the proposed removal of existing outbuilding, construction of self-contained annex to be used as an auxiliary accommodation has been approved with conditions. And Lydens or Liddens, Warren Road, Fairlight, work outside of 3-year planning permission, complaint with change of status as an application has been submitted. Don't know anything about that one. 1G I've got. Correspondence. There was a late correspondence which was really only from Rother, which has really just covered everything Councillor Mayor and Councillor Graham has already said about the boreholes up at Bigboard. I'll read it out very quickly because it is correspondence. Rother pump update. I am pleased to confirm that both contractors involved in the project, Nicholas Boreholes and TP Geo, have been formally instructed and deposit payments have been secured for their involvement. Sorry, it's a bit of an echo of earlier. Nicholas Boreholes was undertaking borehole cleaning and works prior to TP Geo carrying out their section of the works with the pump house and the associated manholes for the replacement of the electropneumatic pumps. Nicholas Boreholes is scheduled to commence work on the 3rd of August. Their works programme is anticipated to last 7 weeks until the 18th of September. TPGO has provisionally indicated commencement date for 30th of September. However, this remains subject to ongoing design developments, which is currently underway together with the process of Nicole's work. We will of course keep you advised of any amendments or revisions to these dates. Should circumstances change, the TPGO works are being advised to take approximately 8 weeks with a projected project completion by the end of November We intend to issue letters to yourself and residents in the local vicinity approximately 2 weeks prior to commencement. These letters are provided more details of the programme of works together with the information regarding the proposed road closure. Correspondence will be sent to residents affected within Rockmead Road and Smugglers Way. So, sorry, that was a bit of an echo from earlier,
Sounds
but
really familiar, actually.
because it was
Yeah.
giving us full correspondence on the agenda.
Could I say something, Chair, on that?
Yes?
Just to say something I was amiss earlier, not to thank, is the work of the Fairlight Preservation Trust.
Absolutely.
Particularly under its new
Absolutely.
chair, Martin Usher.
Yes.
And him and his partner in crime, Laurie Beetham, who are now, with something that Andrew and I were able to sort of get going, is more direct communication between the council and the trust. And I think that's helped smooth a lot of things, because they're eyes and ears every day, and flagging things that then ripples out to us, but goes actually directly into the people organising. So the organisation of this project has been much better as a result of their involvement.
Yes,
so I
yes.
thank them for
Well
that.
done.
Totally agree. Thank you.
Are we minuting that? Is that?
Could you read that, please? I know we spoke very quickly.
No, that's absolutely fine.
Thanks, Jim.
Get the name.
Thank you.
Okay, no, there wasn't any other correspondence in time. Items for consideration of future agenda. We've got a couple now in tonight's meeting.
So just one thing that came up at the annual general meeting was about the 5-year plan.
Yes.
I mean, obviously to get that started, there's a whole planning issue about when and how and getting the information. I'm assuming that should be on an agenda item
Yes, it
somewhere.
will actually, that will go in an agenda item. We can put it as an agenda item, but how much we start discussing the mechanics
So at least
in the meeting is another matter.
Should we actually put down the emergency plan at the same time?
I think so. I think we should do both. Say how much will be resolved in the meeting, another matter, but to kick-start the two as a project. Yes.
Could I mention something about the cars parked on Broadway just over the village hall? There is a couple of cars that are parked weeks on, days and night, without moving. Is there anything we can...
That is probably a while, haven't we?
I mean,
I think providing their MOT and taxed, there's not an awful lot we can do as a parish council.
Okay.
I know they're...
It's just a nonsense, because obviously, like with Dish, with any things that happen in the village, people are parking along there, and then that's more or less the way they park. And the resident that lives across the road, we've now got a big van. That's basically most of the space between the wet lane and the village hall.
Do you want it as an agenda item?
I suppose if we can do anything about it, but...
I don't know if it needs an agenda item, but I did raise the question of the bracken opposite the old post office.
Yes.
I will deal with it within... It's on my agenda, and just the weather and me being too busy.
If I may be able to help you, if you could give me a call.
It will be down this weekend.
Is it just to try and keep it down, or to try and... there's not any way of...
Dominic might know better than me. I think it's usually bruised, isn't it?
Yes.
Rolled.
To get rid of it.
Yeah.
But there's a repeated process. So you have to keep doing it to get rid of it.
Good. Okay. Sorry, I'm a bit lost.
Yes.
Council permissible for me to suspend standing orders for members of the public. Can you make this very quick?
Yeah, very quick. Thank you, Chair. Market gardens seem to have disappeared. Wondered if we could, or you could, find out about fences and,
Yeah, that's...
because that hasn't come up on the agenda quite well.
No, but as I said earlier, I'll be looking into the fence
Yeah, I understand.
and the caving baskets myself.
It's just that we're left in limbo.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay, thank you. All right, standing orders, thank you, resumed. So anything else for item 20, items for consideration for future agendas other than mentioned? David?
Yeah, wasn't there something about identity cards for the parish council?
Yeah, they're being done.
They'll be
Yeah,
done.
yeah.
I was going to say, because if you have any interaction with anybody, they might want to, well, who the hell are you?
Yeah, no, they are getting done.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Can be a gold badge.
I've got mine. Okay, date and venue for the next meeting will be Tuesday the 23rd of June 2026. Just before in the meeting, we have to resolve to go into a private session after the close of the meeting on grounds of the following business which would disclose exempt matters to discuss the final activate lease request. So we're all happy to go into private session?
Yes, Chair.
Okay, thank you. The meeting is shut as of 20:06.
Done, an hour.